Hi, welcome back to my channel, Zaimis channel, and I do not need to introduce myself because on the previous video I introduced myself. Okay, so now as promised, on my previous video I was referring to the Carlos Sainz video that is still uploading as I'm doing this video right now. So yeah, it will be up in a couple of hours time. Yeah, and I will, after this I finish recording this video, I would also straight away upload this video tonight. Yes. Yeah, and this is regarding the honey badger. Who's the honey badger? You'll know. For the F1 fans and neutral F1 fans, you'll know who's the honey badger. But for the non-F1 fans, the honey badger is actually from Australia, who is actually the former teammate of the four times world champion. Mind my ingredients up there. Okay, 4 times world champion, and is also the former teammate of Jean-Eric Vergne in Toro Rosso, the former 4 times world champion in Red Bull, and also the young Flying Dutchman's former teammate in Red Bull. So yeah, Verstappen's former teammate, Vettel's former teammate, Jean-Eric Vergne's former teammate. Yeah, that's quite a number of former teammates he has. Maybe Sainz also. No. Okay. So as you guys know, when he came into F1, he was driving for Toro Rosso. Then he was promoted up at the end of the 2013 season into Red Bull. Okay, because of his Australian compatriot retiring at the end of the 2013 season. So Vettel had no teammate for 2014. So he was actually partnered. Okay, he partnered Vettel for one whole season. Then after that, in 2015, he had Keith Hiat to partner him until the events of the Chinese Grand Prix in 2016, where a couple of weeks later, someone became the youngest ever driver to win a Formula 1 Grand Prix in his debut race for Red Bull Racing, and it was the young Flying Dutchman, Verstappen. So yeah, I will not be talking about this the Spanish Grand Prix in 2016, where Verstappen won a race and the two Ferraris finished on the podium, but Raikkonen finished ahead of his teammate. So yeah, work out the positioning. You guys work out the positioning. Okay. So back to my agenda for tonight. As you guys know, he went up through the ranks. Red Bull picked him up at quite a young age. Then brought him over to Europe for racing in the European, all the subsidiary series with the Red Bull the Red Bull development program. Then he got into F1 around 2011 2012. He got a drive in F1. Okay, after that in 2013 he was with Toro Rosso. Then at the end of that year, as I told you the early part of the video, Mark Webber retired, okay, from F1. So when he retired, Red Bull had to find a replacement. So he promoted Ricciardo up to Red Bull. So now he was partners with Vettel for one season, and he was partners with Kvyat for one full season in 2015. Okay, and about the first couple of races of 26, the first 4 races of 2016. So yeah, then Kvyat was demoted for his antics in the Chinese Grand Prix in 2016, and Red Bull promoted, yeah, and the rest is history. So yeah, so Ricciardo left Red Bull at the end of last year. At the end of 2018. Got a drive for Renault until the end of 2020. Okay, and now for next season he will be partnering the king of jokes on the F1 grid, and he is actually driving a McLaren, and he is also he is also McLaren, one of McLaren's development drivers. That McLaren promoted him up from Formula 2 after Van Dorn left the team in 20 2018, if I'm not mistaken. Wait, no, yeah, he was promoted for the 2019 season. He partnered Sainz. Yeah, his contract ends uh 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 Norris's contract ends in 2022. So yeah, he he's the only driver to have a contract beyond 2022 before Ferrari and Red Bull decided to put pen to paper on Verstappen's and Leclerc's contract respectively. So he was the only driver who had a contract beyond 2020, Norris. So now Norris will partner the Honey Badger or Daniel Ricciardo, okay, for 2021. And yeah, this actually happened because of someone because of his former teammate not signing a contract with Ferrari. So Ferrari had to find a replacement. Yeah, and I don't need to go further into that because I have a video about that. Yeah, it's called Ferrari Carlos, and the spelling of Sainz is not S-I-G-N S-I-G-N-S. It's spelled S-A-I-N-Z. Carlos. Ferrari Sainz Carlos. Yeah. So that sounds a bit catchy to me. So watch that video. You get to know. Yeah. That video is also almost 14 minutes long. Hopefully this video is less than that. Yeah. Or it might just scrap over 14 minutes if I'm not lucky. So yeah. Yeah. So Ricciardo signed for Renault for this season after Renault did not come to an agreement with Hulkenberg for the 29 it's for the sorry Renault signed Ricciardo for the 2019 and 2020 season after uh, they did not agree any terms with their former German driver, okay, in Nico Hulkenberg. Hopefully, if they are not taking Alonso and Vettel into the team, I think they couldn't promote they can they couldn't promote Lungard straight up into F1 for some reason. He has to go through the ranks first. Guan Yu Zhou is in F2, but chances of him entering F1 there is, but he's not for this year. Maybe in a couple of years time. Guang Guan Yu Zhou, or Zhou. Yeah. So I don't know which pronunciation is correct. Yeah. By the way, he's Chinese. That Guan Yu Zhou or Zhao something. So yeah. Yep. So as you guys know that this all started because Vettel did not agree with contract terms for a new contract with Ferrari, and also uh, when Ferrari announced that Sainz was replacing Vettel, McLaren had to actually think of a replacement for Sainz. But Alonso had a fallout with McLaren over the GP2 engine statement during the 2015, 2016, 2017 season, like that. Yeah, so they decided not to take Alonso back. So they went and chose for Ricardo. Ricardo was announced as Red Bull a McLaren driver for next season, but he has to complete his as what he agreed per contract when he signed for Renault. He has to complete the 2020 season before he can move on to McLaren for next season. But the seat that is left empty by Renault, they would have a choice of picking two world champions. Both of them are multi-world champions, and either promoting Guan Yu Zhao or Christian Lungard, the Dane, straight from the Dane is I think in Formula 3 right now, straight up into Formula 2, straight up into Formula 1, or they would rather promote their test and development driver that was put in place after what happened in Antonio Hubert in Spa last year in Formula 2, the Formula 2's feature race in Spa last year. They straightway promoted him, Guan Yu Zhao, into the test driver and development role for the team. So chances of Guan Yu Zhao being in the team there is, but they have to promote him straight up to GP from F2. So the F2 seat, I think he is racing with ART. I think the ART seat beside Callum Elliott, the FDA driver, okay, would be left vacant. So they might need to promote Lungard into that seat if they decide to not go for the two multi-world multiple world champions, or even for their former German driver, uh, their former German driver, uh, Hulkenberg, for the empty seat. So they might have to promote, yeah, because Ricciardo has left for McLaren, and I think he has signed an agreement with McLaren. So yes, that's all. Yeah, it's it is a, a very hectic couple of days, or a hectic few days for the three sets of teams in the paddock: Ferrari, Renault, and McLaren. To summarize, this all started when Vettel decided to split with Ferrari. I have that video that I recorded a couple of days back. Yeah, it's up. It's already uploaded onto my YouTube channel. So please go to that video and watch that video. So yeah, good night and see you on my next video. That might be somewhere late June, early July, for the start of the season. That will be started. The start of the season would be in Austria. Yeah, Austria. Start of the season, Austria. Yes, Austria. Yeah. See you on that. See you. Yeah. I can't do a season preview, right? I think so. Can't do. Yeah. But they will be. I will update a few new rules that the FIA and Formula Management and the organizers of a few of the Grand Prix, let's say the British Grand Prix organizers, the Australian Grand Prix organizers, the Hungarian organizers, had announced something like between 2 weeks ago to, let's say, 6 weeks ago. So I would do I would I I would actually do that video prior to the Australian Grand Prix, and they will host two Grand Prix in maybe back-to-back weeks. Okay, that's the only information I can give you guys, and stay tuned for that video, and also subsequent videos about race preview. But I think for this season, for this year, I will not do the race review because it's literally back-to-back races. So yeah, I unless, if let's say after the Hungarian Grand Prix, we will not have two back-to-back races on the same track. We might have in different tracks. Then I'll start making review and preview videos after the Hungarian Grand Prix, because from the Australian to the Hungarian Grand Prix, I can't make the preview video or review video because they are usually racing on the same track in back-to-back weeks, a week apart. So I don't have any time to squeeze, because the review will be on the same track. The preview also, I can't do the preview video because it's weird, right? So yep, stay tuned for the updates that I will give you prior to the Australian Grand Prix. And I would like to say for the last time, good night, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Zaimis channel, and I'm signing off. Bye.